something new today. Well, actually, it's quite old. Hope this is working out. I'm trying better lighting with my cheap little camera I have here that I usually use for my videos. Anybody should remember this many years ago. I've had mine for many years. It's the leaf spring suspension, 3-speed transmission, Toyota Hilux high lift that TAMIYA made as a kit a long time ago with the transmission and a goofy steering system and a shift servo up front. And let's just say it's a pretty complicated model. But I took it from that and I changed it. Okay, so it looks like a Jeep, right? But there's far more to it than this Jeep. This is now a true 4-link, multi-link suspension design that I took months and months and months of work to do to create this design. This chassis has been completely reconfigured to eliminate all the leaf springs that were there that bent, that did not work really well, whatever. So I built every one of these link systems by buying the rod ends, cut aluminum shaft, threaded them together. Everything you see that's black, that looks like this, has all been generated in CAD, CNC machine to fit for my home CNC machine, skid plate, front pieces here, all these side parts with the multiple hole positions for the multi-link suspension. This thing now has articulation for days. I mean, this thing can articulate way better than it did originally. Much better suspension. I have real oil-filled shocks now on it, which it never had. So all this design work you see goes into factory pre-tapped holes. This truck has, for whatever reason, multiple tapped holes that were in the frame that were being used for other items. The steering servo, believe it or not, to steer this thing used to be mounted right here. It ran a rod to another link system that went down here. That link system then went across to the other side of the front end, and then it came back over to this end. Nothing but slop. You push down on it, and you would get basically bump steer the whole time. So I took this chassis, and it's going to be hard to see on the camera, designed an entire non-contact steering system that allows the suspension to float where one of my links passes right through the steering system. And now, if you also notice my servo right here, instead of being mounted on the frame with a bunch of linkages, it's mounted directly to the axle. So there's zero bump steer. This is the correct way to do it. So now, I know I'm sorry about the camera work, but now the servo floats up and down with the actual axle. It moves. I designed this Y piece that connects it to the axle assembly. So there's a lot of CNC work, a lot of design work went into this model. Decided to change the way I mounted the body. I built a drop-down hitch out of black Delrin. This actually pulls a trailer, even if that's in focus, I hope. All this is all designed, again, using a pair of calipers, paper templates, and then getting it into my CAD system, and then CNC machining it so it fits the frame perfect. So the body mounts there. The shift servo used to be mounted right where the steering servo now is. So obviously I had to move the shift servo. Thankfully they put a shaft out the bottom of the transmission right here. Not sure if I'm catching that or not. And I mounted a shift servo out of the way back here. Now what's interesting about this model now is that the battery pack, I'm just going to grab a NiCad for now, used to fit right through here underneath the chassis. That's where they wanted this battery to be. The battery was supposed to be mounted underneath. There would have been no room for any of this. So I had to design the system for the LiPo to actually sit on top of the frame, and that's what this reusable zip tie is for. I can actually slide a LiPo right on top of this chassis, and it fits perfect. So again, I CNC machine a backstop. The battery fits right in perfect. It plugs in nicely. I got an extra pigtail for the trailer. The trailer lights work off of the battery that runs the model. This I need to fix. I broke this the other day. The cheesy little thing that they put on there from TAMIYA, but either way. But anyhow, I'm trying to get some good views to show you how all these machined parts were made to fit factory location holes and give me much more travel, a lot more travel. It's a lot more fun to drive. The transmission, of course, still shifts, so it still has all 3 speeds. Servo's mounted back here. Nothing bangs into each other. All the stiffener links have all been replaced, aluminum. The front and rear knuckles, steering knuckles, are all replaced with aluminum ones I purchased. But to make this into a 4-link design took months and months and months of design work to actually get these configurations figured out, to remove an entire leaf spring suspension and turn it into a multi-link suspension system. And then of course I got the Integy rims on there and whatnot. So it's a far cry from where it was with leaf springs, and it works really well. I even bought an Integy front end bumper, and then I designed just a simple little block to mount this bumper to the chassis. One other thing I did too, it had a single post center for the body mount. So what I did is I took this thing and I tried to make a sexy as I could, 3/8 Delrin. If I can get in there close enough with the lighting, you can see how it fits the frame perfectly. That took a lot of work, a lot of design work, and some dimensions, and make sure my servo doesn't collide with the chassis on full articulation. See the servo comes close, but it doesn't collide, okay? So there's no collisions, nothing hits anything, everything is perfectly smooth. This truck just runs amazing. So anyhow, I did that, and now this thing, from being a leaf spring sprung suspension vehicle to what it is now, is incredibly fun to drive. And even the body mounts in the back work a whole lot better. You just have to find them through the clear plastic, set it down, and then shove them onto here. And the winch is functional, but I haven't wired it in yet. So now you can see from a little back more view that this chassis system that they had as a leaf spring was never as good as it is now. This thing is just absolutely a fantastic running truck. It has, like I said, it's got great low CG, nice aluminum rims. I put spacers to give it a little wider stance from the front, and again, nothing rubs. Nothing's rubbing, touching. Everything works really well. So I thought I'd share this project with you folks and let you know that I did a lot of CNC machining, a lot of design work, months of planning to get, like I said, the steering servo from here, from the side directly to the axle, and then moving the shift servo to the rear portion. And I might be missing some stuff mentioning, but I thought I'd shoot another quick video to show you one of my cool TAMIYA projects. And again, this thing just runs really, really, really well off-road. Got some great tires, and with the multi-link suspension, it's just way better than the leaf springs. So from that leaf spring system, which was, they were the worst. This thing had no articulation at all, and now it drives like a beauty. It's just great. So next video, I'll show you the trailer that I completely designed from scratch that holds the dune buggy. So thanks for watching, and have a great night.